Assalamu alaikum, my dear students of SAGC. I am Farzana Nasrin, your English teacher. Today we shall continue learning the use of right form of verbs. Dear students, you should know that this class is for all my students of class 6 to 10. And if you are a student of class 9 or 10, you will learn how to complete a sentence using the right form of verbs. So let's see what we are going to learn today. Our today's topic is use of right form of verbs, and this is my third class. Today we are going to learn rule 22 to 37, excluding rule number 31, because you know we have already learned 31 rule in our previous class. As my class is specially for the students of SAGC, we shall follow the sequence of rules from our book Advanced Learner Communicative English Grammar and Composition by Choudhury and Hossain. So let's start our today's lesson. Rule number 22. In a sentence, singular noun with each or every or the phrase one of the takes singular verb. Let us see the example. Each boy and each girl, the verb to have is given a pen to write with. So there is each boy, you will see that boy and girl, both nouns are in singular form. So let us see what will be the answer. Each boy and each girl has a pen to write with. One of the students to be verb present in the meeting. So phrase one of the, I told you that after one of the verb will be singular, but you should know that after one of the phrase, noun is plural, verb is singular. So let us see the result. One of the students is present in the meeting. But you should remember one thing, that in a sentence, plural noun with each takes plural verb. If you see the example, it will be very clear to you. The students each to have got a book. Here, the students plural. Students plural. So, the verb will also be plural. The students each have got a book. Rule number 23. After any modal auxiliary, verb is always simple present. In my previous class, I have already discussed this one, that after any auxiliary verbs, we have to use modal auxiliaries, we have to use simple present form of verb. So let us check the modal auxiliaries: may, might, can, could, must, will, would, shall, should, have to, had to, need to, ought to, etc. And after them, if I have to use any verb, that will be in simple present. So let us see the example. They may come tomorrow. So there won't be any change of the verb come, but modal will be added, that they may come tomorrow. I have to do my homework. So when we do the correction, the answer will be I have to do my homework. Rule number 24. If the reporting verb in an indirect speech is simple past, and if there is phrase like next day or next year or next month, the reported speech will be in simple future in past. Let us see an example. He said that he go there the next day. Here said is reporting verb. It is in simple past, and the next day phrase, it suggests future. So the answer will be, he said that he would go there the next day. Rule number 25. If the statement is in passive mode, after auxiliary verbs, am, is, are, was, were, has been, have been, or being, main verb will be past participle. For example, the work is due by him. Here, the sentence is in passive mode, and auxiliary is, Here auxiliary verb is present, so after auxiliary the main verb will be in past participle. So the answer will be the work is done by him. In the same way, my watch has been still, has been, and watch subject suggests that the sentence is in passive mode. So after has been, verb will be past participle. The answer will be my watch has been stolen. Rule 26. First conditional sentence. Now we are going to discuss conditional sentences. We all know that there are three kinds of conditional sentences. First condition, second condition and third condition. So first conditional sentence follows the following rule. If clause will be in present indefinite tense, and in principal clause we have to use shall or will or can or may before the main verb, and the main verb will be simple present. Let us see the example. If I see him, I tell him the matter. Here if clause, that means the dependent clause in present indefinite tense. So in the principal clause, before the verb tell, we have to use either shall or will or can or may. So the answer will be if I see him, I will tell him the matter. Rule 27. Second conditional sentences. We all know that if clause, second conditional sentence, after if clause, tense is past indefinite tense. So we can learn the structure like this: if plus past indefinite tense and principal clause, we have to use the modal auxiliaries in past: should or would or could or might. And obviously after modal auxiliaries, verb will be simple present. So let us see the example. Is if Sabina called him, he come without any delay. Here, if clause, dependent clause in past indefinite tense. Sabina called him. So, if Sabina called him. So, in principal clause, before the main verb, it will be simple present, and before the main verb, we have to use should or would or could or might. So, the answer will be if Sabina called him, he would come without any delay. Rule 28. Third conditional sentence. In third conditional sentence, if clause, that is dependent clause, is in past perfect tense. So we can have the structure like this: if plus past perfect tense, and in principal clause should or would or could or might plus have plus verb past participle. Or you can say should have, could have, would have, might have, and a verb in past participle. So let us see the example. If father had called me, I come without any delay. Here, father had called me. The dependent clause or if clause, it is in past perfect tense, had called. So in principal clause, we have to change the verb like this: would have or could have come, would have come or could have come. So let us see the answer. If father had called me, I would have come without any delay. Rule 29. Conditional sentences written in different ways. Second and third condition sentences can be written without using if, but using the following structure. Let us see the structure. In second condition sentence, structure might be had plus subject plus object. In third condition sentence, condition had subject plus verb plus participle plus object. Let us see examples. Had I a car, I would drive myself. It is in third condition, and if I write this sentence using if, then the sentence would be if I had a car, I would drive myself. Number 2, had I seen him, I would have called him. It can be also written with the use of if. If I had seen him, I would have called him. see conditional sentences with where. After subject can be both second and third condition. So let us see the structure. If plus subject plus where. Then in principal clause after subject the verb would or could or might and verb main verb simple present tense. Example, if I were a king I would help the poor. Again, if plus subject plus where, and in principal clause after subject we can use would have, could have or might have and verb past participle. Let us see the example. If I were a king I would have helped the poor. See the same sentence. If I were a king, one can be written in second conditional sentence. If I were a king, I would help the poor. And it can also be written in third conditional sentence. If I were a king, I would have helped the poor. Both are correct answers. Let's see more examples. Were I a musician, I would play the violin. Or you can say, were I a musician, I would have played the violin. Let us see another example. If I were a magician, I would play a trick to make the child happy. Or, if I were a magician, I would have played a trick to make the child happy. So, I hope you have understood that with the sentence when there is where, if clause, then you can write in second condition or you can write in third condition. It's up to you. Rule number 32. When have or has, had, get, got works as causative verb in a sentence, main verb is past participle. Let us see the example. I got the work do by him. Here got is causative verb. So next verb, second verb, do will be in past participle form. The answer will be I got the work done by him. Second example, I had my meal cooked. The answer will be I had my meal cooked. Rule number 33. Sentence with less. Sentences with less take should or might before main verb in the principal clause. So you have to choose any one of the auxiliaries should or might. For example, he studies hard lest he fail in the exam. He studies hard lest he might fail in the exam. Let us see another example. Walk fast lest you miss the bus. Walk fast lest you should miss the bus. So you have to use might or should. No other auxiliaries will go with this type of sentences. Sentences with lest. Rule number 34. Sentence with while. After while, if there is any verb that should be present participle, that means you have to add ing with the main verb. Or if there is a sentence after while there is subject and its past continuous tense, a complex sentence, it is complex sentence and dependent clause, then it should be past continuous tense. You will know that when we use only verb after while, that means while plus verb present participle, it makes a simple sentence. And when we use a clause while plus subject plus past continuous tense, it makes complex sentence. So let us see the example. While walk in the garden, I saw a snake. The answer is while walking in the garden, I saw a snake. Number 2, while I walk in the garden, see it's a clause, dependent clause. So it should be in past continuous tense. And I saw a snake is principal clause. Let us see what happens to the dependent clause. While I was walking in the garden, I saw a snake. Rule number 35, subject-verb agreement. Verb takes its form after the person and number of the subject, not the subject complement of the sentence. Example, the color of his eyes, be verb blue. Here, which one is subject? First, we have to get that. The color or his eyes. You should remember that of his eyes is a phrase and it is subject complement. The subject, actually subject is the color. So the answer will be the color of his eyes is blue. Let us see the second example. The teachers of this school be sincere. Here of this school is not subject but the teachers is subject. So the answer will be the teachers of this school are sincere. There is a note for you in the above sentences. Of these eyes and of this school are subject complements, not subjects. Let's see more examples. Were I a musician, I would play the violin. Or you can say, were I a musician, I would have played the violin. Let us see another example. If I were a magician, I would play a trick to make the child happy. Or, if I were a magician, I would have played a trick to make the child happy. So, I hope you have understood that with the sentence when there is where, if clause, then you can write in second condition or you can write in third condition. It's up to you. Rule number 37, introductory there. So we sometimes write sentences with introductory there. And what is the rule for that? Sentence starting with there takes singular verb when subject is singular. Very simple. And it takes plural verb when subject is plural. So we have to realize whether the subject is singular or plural. Example, there be verb a high school in our village. See the subject high school, a high school, one. So it's a singular subject. So after there is a high school in our village. But if I write there be verb two high schools in our village, high schools in noun in plural number, then the verb will be plural. There are two high schools in our village. Dear students, hope you have understood all the rules of right form of verbs. And if you have any question, anything to know, you can write in comment section so that I can give you feedback. So let's do few exercises. Each boy and each girl received a prize to have. So I hope you remember the rule. If the verb as a noun is singular, with each, the verb will also be singular. Number 2 exercise. He said that he climbed a mountain next year. So he said that in direct speech and reporting verb said is in past, simple past. So you know what to do with the verb. Number 3. The trees have been uprooted. So it is in passive mode. So after auxiliaries, the verb will be what? I hope you can remember. Number 4, if it rains, I remain at home. Let me remind you its first condition. So you know what to do. Number 5, had you seen the tiger, you faint. Had you seen or if you had seen, both are same and it is had you seen, had seen. So it has auxiliaries, verb, had and past participle of main verb seen. So it belongs to third condition. Let us see the answers. Each boy and each girl has received a prize. He said that he would climb a mountain next year. The trees have been uprooted. If it rains, I shall remain at home. Had you seen the tiger, you would faint. Let's do few more exercises. Number 6, if I were a bird, I sing in the morning. So when if clause is with the verb where, you know it can be second condition or third condition. Number 7, I had my watch break. So had here had is causative verb. And number 8, he stopped smoking lest he suffer in the long run. The key word is lest. So you know you have to use a modal auxiliary before the main verb of the principal clause. So while play, he broke his leg. After while, the formation of verb, I think you can remember. Number 10, 50 kilogram. 50 kilogram, it's a unit, so you know what you have to do. And number 11, there be a pond, a garden, and a tea stall near my house. So you have to consider the subject, whether it is singular or plural. And there is mention of a pond, a garden, and a tea stall. Not one thing, but more than one thing. So let us see the answers. Number 6, if I were a bird, I would sing or I would have sung in the morning. Number 7, I had my watch broken. Number 8, he stopped smoking lest he should suffer in the long run. Or you could write he might suffer in the long run. That would also be correct answer. And number 9, while playing he broke his leg. Number 10, 50 kilogram is a heavy weight. And number 11, the last one, there are a pond, a garden, and a tea stall near my house. Dear students, hope it was quite easy for you. So my suggestion for you would be keep on practicing. Hope you will be able to use right form of verb while you speak or you write anything. So best of luck. And let us go to our next slide, and it will be specially for the students of class 9 and 10. Now let's try completing sentence, and it's for class 9 and 10 students. But if my students of class 6, 7 and 8, they are interested to watch this part, they are most welcome because they are going to learn new items. They are going to learn how to complete a sentence. So learning should be continued. So let us see. Complete the following sentence. If I had won a lottery. So what type of sentence is this? Yes, you were right. It's conditional sentence, if clause. And after if clause, so you have to know that if I had won, so had auxiliary and won, the past participle of the main verb. So it is, yes, you were correct. It is third conditional sentence. So how can I make it? Number 1, if I had won a lottery, I would have bought a car. So it's my thought that I would have bought a car. So you can write new sentences. You can add new information. Or if I write, if I had won a lottery, I could have helped the poor. That is also correct. So there, you will try yourself to produce newer and newer sentences. But you should follow the correct rule of verbs. Now let's try another one. Completing sentence. Were I a doctor? If you can remember, a sentence with where, if clause or conditional sentence with where, it takes us both second or third condition. So the answer can be where I a doctor, I would treat my patients at no cost. Or you can write, were I a doctor, I would have opened a dispensary in my hometown. So these are two examples from my part, and you can create new sentences as many as you can and take it as a fun and try to write newer and newer sentences using the correct form of verb. Another example, while I was crossing the road. It's a complex sentence, and while I was crossing the road, it's a dependent clause because without the later part of the sentence, it is incomplete. So when I was crossing the road, that means past continuous tense. Then the tense, you should follow the trend of tense. So you should complete the sentence using past tense. While I was crossing the road, I saw an accident. Or you can write, while I was crossing the road, I saw a bus coming at a high speed. So these are two examples. There are more because I have already told you that answer of completing sentence will vary student to student. Let's see another example. He listened to his teacher list. Sentence with list. If you can remember, we have to use modal auxiliary should or might. So however you complete the sentence, you follow the rule. Number one, he listened to his teacher lest he might fail in the exam. Number two, he listened to his teacher lest he should suffer in the long run. So you can give more sentences. You can produce more sentences from your own part. Dear students, let me remind you again. You should not forget, when you are asked to complete a sentence, you must complete it with correct form of verb. You must write the full sentence in your answer script, as partial answer will score 0 credit. So my dear students, I have put a note for you. My next grammar class for the students of class 9 and 10 will be particularly on completing sentences. So we have learned few sentences, completing sentences based on the use of right form of verb, and on my discussion on this topic in this class and in two previous classes. So next time we are going to discuss in detail on completing sentences. Till then, thank you for being with me. I wish you best of luck. Thank you for being with me. Stay home, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.